Welcome back to the Explainer. So whether you are gearing up for the TCF Canada exam, or you honestly just want to master the real building blocks of French, especially with those distinct Quebecois nuances, you are absolutely in the right place today. We're jumping straight into Unit 3. We're going to tackle some essential party vocabulary, and then we're going to break down a fundamental grammar rule called elision. And let me tell you, getting the hang of elision is literally the secret to making your spoken French sound incredibly smooth and totally natural.
All right, here's our game plan for today. Number 1, party core vocabulary. 2, practical party phrases. 3, our core grammar rule, elision. And 4, adverbs and adjectives. Let's get into it. Section 1, party core vocabulary. We're starting with those foundational party nouns. Okay, picture this. You're heading to a birthday celebration. What are the absolute basics you need? Well, first up is the event itself, right? Fête, which means party. Though, fun fact, if you're in Quebec, you're actually going to hear people use the English word party, like on party, quite a bit alongside fête. Anyway, you can't have a solid celebration without a gâteau, a cake. You'll definitely want to bring a cadeau, that's your gift. And when it's finally time to eat that cake, you're going to need an assiette, a plate. A really great trick to lock these into your memory is to literally visualize the scene. Imagine yourself bringing the cadeau to the fête and eating the gâteau on a little assiette.
But a party isn't just stuff, right? It's about action. So we've got our key verbs here: chanter, to sing; danser, to dance; and apporter, to bring. And who's doing all this? Well, it could be your grand-mère, grandma, grand-père, grandpa, or maybe just an ami, a friend. Finally, where is all this happening? For that, we use the word chez, which means at someone's house or at the place of. Now, if you're prepping for the TCF Canada listening sections, pay close attention to this. Catching who is doing the action chez someone is often the make or break detail for picking the right multiple choice answer. Like, you might sing and dance chez un ami, at a friend's place.
Moving on to Section 2, practical party phrases. Let's turn these words into real conversational sentences. Now, looking at this setup from our source guidebook, it's actually super interesting. Notice how these phrases aren't just a boring static list. They're grouped to simulate the actual back and forth flow of a real interaction. Having the audio prompt right there next to the text is brilliant because it forces you to think about how these phrases actually sound out loud in a role-play scenario. It's fantastic practice. So let's break these down. First up, où est la fête? Where is the party? Simple enough. Then you might answer with j'ai un cadeau pour la fête. I have a gift for the party. You could ask, tu es prêt pour la fête? You are ready for the party. Or, crucially, confirm the dessert situation. Le gâteau est pour la fête? The cake is for the party. And of course, the classic joyeux anniversaire Marie. Happy birthday, Marie. You know, these simple question and answer formats are exactly what examiners are listening for in the early stages of a TCF oral exam. If you can confidently combine core words like fête and cadeau, you are going to comfortably handle those basic everyday interactions. All right, Section 3, core grammar, focusing on elision. This is all about getting that smooth pronunciation. Have you ever listened to native French speakers and wondered how they just effortlessly flow all their sentences together without any awkward breaks? Well, elision is the mechanical fix for that. It happens when certain short words literally lose their ending vowel, gain an apostrophe, and just attach directly to the next word, assuming that next word starts with a vowel. For the TCF Canada speaking test, mastering this is an absolute game changer. It gets rid of those clunky vowel-to-vowel pauses and drastically boosts your fluidity score. It's exactly how native Quebecois speakers naturally use the language every single day. So, which words actually do this? When you look at them, the pattern is pretty obvious. Take the pronoun je, meaning I. It just drops its e and becomes j'apostrophe. The definite articles la and la drop their vowels to become l'apostrophe. And the preposition de, meaning of or from, becomes de. You're basically just clipping off the vowel, slapping on an apostrophe, and connecting it right to the next sound. To really see this in action, let's compare two similar sentences. First, Emma est l'amie d'Omar. Now, because the word ami starts with an A, and the name Omar starts with an O, both vowels, right? La and de both undergo elision, so it flows beautifully into one continuous sound, l'amie d'Omar. But contrast that with our second sentence, Emma est l'amie de Léo. We still say l'amie, but look at Léo. Léo starts with an L, a consonant. Because of that, the de stays in its full form. No apostrophe, no dropping the vowel, it just remains de Léo. And finally, Section 4, adverbs and adjectives. This is where we talk about adding real emphasis to your sentences. Okay, now that we know how to connect our words smoothly, how do we actually add some punch to what we're saying? Take a look at this. Il chante trop fort. He sings too loudly. The adverb here is trop, meaning too or too much. Notice how it comes immediately before the word it's modifying, which is fort. When you get to the later stages of the TCF Canada speaking test, you're going to have to express opinions and really emphasize your points. Accurately dropping in adverbs like trop right where the emphasis belongs is absolutely essential for sounding authentic and natural.
And just like that, we've wrapped up Unit 3. We've covered the core basics of a fête, and we've really unpacked the mechanics of elision. So, here's my challenge for you. How are you going to combine your new vocabulary and these elision rules for your next French party, or, your upcoming TCF speaking test? Can you mentally construct a sentence right now about bringing a cadeau while someone is singing trop fort? Seriously, try practicing those combinations in your head. Thanks so much for joining me for today's explainer. Stay curious, keep practicing, and I will see you in the next one.